Hold up.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Foxy98 here, and welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today here on my channel. Today we are back with my F1 2016 Career Mode Season 6, Part 8 now here for the Austrian Grand Prix. If you do, it's Part 9 actually, my bad. If you do enjoy today's video, drop a like on it, that'd be absolutely awesome. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed to the channel already. And I just wanted to point out that I don't even know when this video is going live, but firstly, I've got an R&D event here from my man Chris, and he's like, yo Chris, not Chris, he's like, yo Tom, got a bit of a problem here. You know that Williams car? Yeah, it's decided, it's come to that time, boys. There it is. Williams have banged on some upgrades. I said that if Williams upgrade their car, I will use my resource points. And Williams, they've gone to town. I think they've done a lot of stuff. I can't see it because the preview screen is really blurry, but they've made a couple of upgrades. And their car is now the fastest car on the grid. And basically, it's OP as hell. But anyway, guys, like I was saying beforehand, I don't really know when this video is going live. Now, the reason for this is I'm actually recording this the night before I go, or editing this video, the night before I go away on holiday. Now, I'm going away on holiday on Thursday when this video has been recorded on the Wednesday. You would have just seen the previous career mode in Azerbaijan whilst I'm doing this video right now. And then I'm back next Thursday. So, basically, in other words, put it this way, I'm recording this video on the 24th of May right now. So this video is either going to be out whilst I'm away on holiday, so if it is, then enjoy a video whilst I'm away. Otherwise, it depends on how I upload how I can get the uploads going, even if I want to, if that comes into play there. But yeah, basically, if I am away on holiday, hopefully you enjoy these videos whilst I'm away. If this video never actually turns out to be away on holiday, I had a great time. I'm just going to say I had a great time, because if I say that I didn't, it's pretty awkward. But yeah, just putting that part out of the way there. So, anyway then, in practice, we felt pretty comfortable, although we felt quite slow. It seemed like Williams had made these upgrades at the perfect time around the power-heavy circuit, and I believe have now made either 4 or their entire 5 upgrades now to their engine, which is a huge problem for me, because I've only made, well, I haven't made an upgrade to the engine yet. So Williams, I do believe they've made 4 upgrades, if I can remember correctly, to the engine now. So Williams have got so much more straight line speed than us, it's going to be really difficult to close them down. In qualifying then, you can see that we qualified P4, and Danica Fiat somehow qualified on the in front of everyone on ultra soft tyres with a 1-minute 1 around Austria. So, nice game there, just, doing that. We nearly actually got knocked out at Q1 there, but we managed to make it through with some big names getting kicked out of Q1 there, so not a good day for some of them. Into Q2 we go then, and unfortunately the pace just was not there for me, and today it's all about damage limitation, see where we could just end up, and hope that the race is stronger like it always has been so far this season. And you can see that we're very far off the pace. We're even slower than Jensen Button in the McLaren. That was a horrible Q2 session. It's only P7 there with Bottas and Massa on the front row. Rosberg, definitely the lead driver today, as I'm just nowhere in terms of pace. I've just got nothing. Into Q3 we go. Raikkonen currently the fastest man here. We're going into second to last corner right now here, trying to just give everything out of the car here. You can see how much I'm just trying to get this car to really just work, really. Unfortunately, it's just not enough. We qualified down in P3, slower than Perez and Raikkonen. We were quicker than Alonso, but it's just not enough. At the end of the day, we only qualified P8. We qualified P8, and we are front of Button and Alonso. So we beat the McLarens there, and we come on through here, and my game crashed. As soon as I just finished qualifying, my game crashed. I thought it was kind of weird. And the only reason I'm putting this clip in is because of what you're about to see in just a minute. So as you can see, we're just going to load up F1. And I had to cut it out because, of course, it was literally just the whole loading screen. So, of course, you probably didn't want to see that. So, as you can see, going back to the career mode now, we've got our points after the game crash, which is nice. Look at that. Bottas there with the driver rivalry. And as you can see, look, the session of goals, we just didn't meet them. So, we're going to listen to the voicemail now, see what Emma's got to say. She's probably going to give us some session goals, like probably fit. I think she says finish 4th or above. That is just 4th or 5th. Again, the preview screen is really poor. But she wants to finish 4th or 5th or above because, of course, we qualified in P8. But I just wanted the only reason you'll see why I'm talking in a very suspicious way. So we're going to get on towards the race now here, and it's going to be hopefully a good race. But of course, the Williams car is very fast in a straight line, and we need to be wary of that in this Grand Prix around this power-heavy Austrian circuit. So as you can see then, we're just going to go and have a look at the grid. Why not? I mean, we know what the grid is anyway. But of course, it was Perez on pole, and I mean, yeah, I'm on pole apparently. Rosberg is second, 9/10 quicker. Vettel third, 3/10 quicker. The Williams cars over a second quicker than me. The Red Bulls somehow down here. Force Indies are down there. The Renaults are a line astern. The Toro Rossos are a line astern. Then it's the Saubers that are a line astern. And then it's the McLarens that are a line astern. And then it's the Manor that are a line astern. And then the Haas's that are a line astern. Yeah. What the? Yeah. My game crashed and has now put the order of the teams in the order that they're selected when you select them in a quick race. Because it's Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, Force India, Williams. Yeah. It's basically just put the preset grid in. So now I'm on pole. After qualifying in P8, we're now in pole position. As you can see, I'm confused the hell out of myself. This game is broken, but we're going to carry on with this career mode, taking a cheaty pole position. But yeah, there's not. See, look at that. It's us from Ferrari, from Red Bull. You'll be able to see a better view of it when we get off the start line. But I don't know. My game just crashed as soon as I finished qualifying. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, we're getting onto the grids for the Austrian. I don't even know. This game's broken. But it's lights out, and we go for the Austrian Grand Prix. As you can see here, we got off to a good start. You can see the line astern of cars literally in all their orders here. Into turn 1 we go. We get a much better drive through turn 1 overall in general compared to the likes of Rosberg and the Ferrari, and the Williams is behind here. And we've got a gap now already to start this race off here. As we come towards turn 2 now, you can see that there's a three-way fight here. Towards turn 2, we've got Massa versus... Is that Massa? Is that Bottas? It looks like Massa, actually, yeah. It's probably not, because I'm wrong. Nope, that is actually, it was Massa. Bottas gets in front here. Rosberg and Vettel goes side by side now. Down the straight they go. Vettel's going to have the inside line, but of course the eyes don't brake late, so this might not work out for Sebastian. Down the inside, will he make this move stick? It's a little, still nip and tuck here. The Williams driver is going to be close as well here, so these guys are really fighting hard. It's Bottas now circling behind them here as Rosberg makes a move down the inside of Sebastian, makes it stick perfectly there, and has left Sebastian out to dry now, and the Williams drivers will definitely fancy a run on Sebastian very, very soon. Rosberg now making its way through. Vettel behind. Bottas next. Massa following onwards. Definitely wants to have a look through here. Here comes Rosberg. Now we've got Bottas through. Oh, that's a little bit of contact there between the two drivers there. Bottas is probably going to get annoyed. Lock up there from Bottas. Vettel round the outside. He makes it stick, but unfortunately, the Williams' engine upgrade for this Grand Prix means that they're just going to fly through. Massa pulls over to the slipstream of his teammate Valtteri Bottas here. Massa now makes a move down the inside of Bottas here. And that is fine for the two of them. There is Massa spun. Massa's hit the back of Bottas, and Massa's gone off the track there. You can see me having to try and look backwards to see what happened to Felipe. But basically, into turn, I forgot to show a second replay camera of it. But basically, Massa was just, it was basically front wheel versus rear wheel onto lap 2 of the Grand Prix now, lap 3, sorry, of the Grand Prix. Bottas with some DRS slipstream and the engine upgrades. Rosberg, unfortunately, the Mercedes car is actually just no match for the Williamses at the moment. Of course, I was waiting till they make that upgrade, and they've gone and made it here today. And we're just going to have to push onwards here onto lap 5 of the Grand Prix now. We are going to be making our very first pit stop to go onto a set of the super soft tyres to continue on with the next stint. You can see Bottas there closing me down. He actually stays out for another lap, and I believe he stays out for a little bit longer than myself. But unfortunately, the tyres were just wearing off, so we had to make a pit stop and go into a set of super soft tyres. And I forgot to say, at the start of the race, basically, of course, because there was so much like chaos going on in terms of the buggy, glitchy game, we're going to be doing a two-stop race. So we're going to be starting on a set of the ultra soft tyres, pitting for a set of super softs, and then going on to another set of the super soft tyres. Unfortunately, there were more bugs in this game. Basically, I got to this point here at the end of the pits to show off the, you know, the, what's it called? The replay cameras. And after that point, my game actually crashed again, and then it wouldn't let me show the replay cameras. So, of course, I checked the leaderboards, went through all those for you guys. We go down the inside of Kvyat here, went through the replay cameras, then halfway through, the game just crashed, and it basically just took us to the resource points section. So that's nice. Unfortunately there, I won't be able to show you guys the rest of the replay cameras because they just didn't really work. But moving further on, we're down to lap 8 of the Grand Prix now. We need to get a move on because, of course, Bottas has stayed out for a few laps longer than me. Bottas is a hell of a lot quicker in his Williams than I am. However, the only advantage I have to get in track position over Bottas is to get in front of Palmer and to use the fact of these super soft tyres. Now, I am a little bit of a dumb idiot because I have just realised, looking at the top left, that I was actually in front of Bottas in the first place. So basically, I'm just being a plum sack is the best way to put things here. because there's Bottas flying through against Julian Palmer, and into turn 1 we go. We're going to get in front here. Bottas is going to get through on Palmer, but gets held up there. The aeros always do that. They always give each other really weird amounts of space and lose a lot of time here. Lap 10 now onto, coming towards the end of lap 10, starting lap 11. Bottas is now right behind us once again here, and the aeros get such tremendous drive off this corner. Bottas here, he's literally going to fly past us. Look how quick that Williams is in a straight line, and we're not going to give him that much space, so we're literally going to make him fight for this race, of course. At the moment, basically, my big problem is we're sitting ducks, basically. The Mercedes car, compared to the Williams, now, after this upgrade, we're sitting ducks. So, really, it's all about just how long can I hold off Bottas? What can I do in this race? And here we go now. Bottas is going to go over to the outside line here ever so gingerly. There it is. Massa says the fast lap of the race so far. Bottas completely outdrags me. Into turn 2 we go, though. We are going to brake nice and late on the brakes here. Give Bottas some room, and we're going to get that job done here. Bottas still there alongside myself. We're going to push overwards, and Bottas tucks in for some more slipstream. Actually gives it a little bit of a hit there on my rear of my car. I'm having to control my car because Bottas just keeps caressing my rear diffuser. Bottas, I do not want my diffuser caressed. Back off. But unfortunately, that's not going to be the case because he's going to come straight back at us very, very soon. And in front as well, we've got a lot of drivers who are doing the different strategy who are actually pulling away from us right now. So we do need to be worried about them come later on in the Grand Prix. Lap 12 of the race, and you can already see how much pressure Bottas is putting on me. Few little minor mistakes coming in, and with that Williams car being extremely overpowered, that we can't afford to do that here as we defend against Bottas very nicely there. And now Bottas moves over to the outside line into the second to last corner. We defend it nicely. Not the best defending there because we've lost a little bit of time. It's going to affect us at the exit of 8 and give us a little less corner speed into 9. But Bottas here with some DRS down the pit straight now. He is going to go in front of us. But, of course, we are going to defend the inside into 1, which means Bottas will run wide. And as you can see there, that is all nice for us. We can continue on our way here. And that is us up into still into P3. Rosberg in the pits once again here as Bottas comes flying through once again here on lap 14. And we're going to make a move down inside. Oh, Bottas, it was a little bit of contact. That was a little bit reckless from myself. I'll put my hands up and say that was a bit reckless there in terms of making that move. But we committed to the braking point there. And at the end of the day, if you don't have any wheel banging in some racing, like go back to Hamilton and Vettel in Spain, you know, people complain about little bits of wheel banging. That's racing, to be honest. So I put my hands up. I was a little bit silly on the brakes, but the move was done. Both was given space, just a bit of a contact. But you can see just how much Bottas is absolutely flying in this race here. As I think Bottas and my front and rear wheels connected. So even more contact between the two drivers as we really are fighting heavily against Bottas now. And basically, you can just see it in this Grand Prix, how uncomfortable I'm feeling. Bottas should literally be about half a minute, maybe even lapping us at this rate. But what we're doing is exactly what we need to do. We just need to keep holding off Valtteri and just basically just trying to ruin his race in the best possible way because, well, that's all we've got to do. We've just got to keep going there. Very wide on the exit of 8. Compromises us heavily into 9 here. Losing the back end completely there. And that is a free entry and a free pass there for Bottas. And look how much he's pulled away from us. However, into turn 1, you can see that he's not got the best drive here. And we're actually going to get a really good drive out of 1 here. Rich fuel mixture. Unfortunately, that Williams car is too quick. But unfortunately, Bottas stuck to the inside line and compromised his entry into turn 1 massively. And that's given us a much better drive up the hill into turn 2. And we are going to make moves stick again on Valtteri Bottas. But Bottas hangs it around the outside. But we are going to use the DRS and the power of what we've got really in this Mercedes-Benz, which is no engine upgrades at all. It's just a bog standard Mercedes engine. Whereas the Williams car has a Mercedes engine plus 4 upgrades. So it's 8 horsepower either way, so whatever 8 times 4 is, which is probably like 32, I think. Moving onwards, though, we are on to lap 16 of the Grand Prix now, and we're going to be making our second pit stop and going on to a set of soft tyres to take those to the end of the race. So, of course, we've gone from ultra soft to super soft to soft. So that was kind of normal from us, really. That was what we were going to do, yeah, that is us happily onto a brand new set of soft tyres. And once again, we are going to hopefully have track position over Valtteri, because of course he is going to be staying out longer, whereas I'm going to have fresh tyres. So if that's the case, that's really going to help me out quite a lot. But you know, we'll just have to see what goes on, and yeah, let's go from here then. So out of the pits we go now, and we've actually got some clean air, which is nice. We've just managed to rejoin in front of the likes of Ericsson, and I believe that's Danny Gaffiat in the Toro Rosso. So very happy there that we've managed to get in front of them. Otherwise, we would probably be struggling a lot. But luckily, we have. Lap 18 of the Grand Prix, and the virtual safety car came out. Now, it didn't show us as soon as it came out, because there were no incidents, but we did gain some cheeky little bit of time, which you can do under the VSC. So, yeah, that's exactly what's going on there. So, I had to look, just couldn't find anything, so I just decided to stay on with it and just gain a bit of time, really. But we're going to go down the inside of Danica here into the sector last corner, and that is us done and dusted. And moving things onwards then, you can see opening up the DRS. We're trying to close up a Kimi Raikkonen, but we need to be wary of where is Valtteri Bottas, and did the virtual set. There he is. He's coming out of the pits now. This is going to be crucial. Very wide out the exit of 1 onto the AstroTurf there, and we're in front of Bottas. So again, after the 2 pit stops, we have got track position on Valtteri, but Valtteri is in a much quicker Williams. He's got better straight line speeds, and he's got slightly fresher tyres, which might, well, who knows really, it might just pay the dividends for Valtteri here. On to lap 19, start of 20 now. We're going to be catching Raikkonen. Bottas is going to be slipstreaming us heavily as well here. We really need to get this done on Raikkonen. Bottas so close there. We're going to have to go for him. Raikkonen down the inside of Kimi, and we make the move stick there on Raikkonen. And we hope that, never mind, Kimi Raikkonen's been hit by Bottas, and into the wall goes Raikkonen there. So, never mind, I guess Bottas is just going to be a battering ram at the same time, just to take out Kimi here into the hairpin. Now Bottas makes the move stick on us, so we're going to have to do the switchback here. We're going to do the switchback, execute it nicely, but look, the Williams car's just got better straight line speed, and we're just going to have to try and hang on with him now. Bottas here, unfortunately, I think, has got this move done, and we're braking very hard, and no, unfortunately for myself, the Williams car's just too fast in a straight line. The switchback move was on, but we just didn't have enough pace in the car. Raikkonen's out of the race on lap 22 of the Grand Prix, unfortunately, so rest in peace Kimi Raikkonen for the rest of this Grand Prix. I'm going to find out why here. So Kimi onwards now, catching up to one of the Manners, so after his tangle with battling with us, and it is of course evidently an engine failure, which is a very big shame for Kimi Raikkonen, and that is why that happened there. On to lap 24 of the Grand Prix now, and Rosberg's into the pits, but you can see, unfortunately, we've got more problems in the terms of white cars, and that's Williams, and that's Massa now right on the back of us. And you can see here, again, I'm literally just a sitting duck to the Williams car. Look at that thing fly. We're going to outbrake it into turn 1, and lap 25, we've got 11 laps to fight off this team, 12 laps actually, to fight off the Williams driver. It's going to be a really tall order. We held off Bottas for 19 laps, but I don't really know. At this point, I was starting to get a little bit demotivated, but at the same time, you know, as much as I was demotivated, I was still in the zone. I was making mistakes. I was just under pressure. That was my big problem. The Williams cars were just so fast and such a shock in terms of speed that I really was just giving it everything I could, and I literally couldn't do any more here as Massa flies through, and unfortunately, he's actually gone wide though. He did actually lock up there, so Massa there, as I was really depressed about losing the position to Felipe and sending him waltz off into the distance, rarely makes a mistake, and that's allowed me to come on through, and now we're back up into 3rd place. There is a driver out front who has not pitted, so this is a net P2 we're fighting for here. As Massa now on lap 27 of the Grand Prix, we're going to brake nice and early here, and Massa just decides, no, I'm just going to overtake you down the inside because I'm that much quicker, and yeah, unfortunately Felipe Massa is going to waltz off into the distance because this Mercedes car, unfortunately, it's met its match now. It's met its match, and the Williams car is the quickest car on the grid. And on to lap 36 of the Grand Prix, we've had to hold off a late charge from Rosberg here. Bottas wins the Grand Prix. You can see the tyre wear is horrible as well. Rosberg there right behind. So, just showing that Nico was closing in very, very quickly. Sector last corner, ran wide again. Final corner here. And unfortunately, me and Rosberg are going to finish a long way off the pace. 3rd and 4th. And that basically sums up the Grand Prix. You know, we started, well, should have started 8th. Glitched onto pole position somehow. And then we dropped to 3rd. So, back-to-back P3s. At the end of the day, look, the Mercedes car has finally met its match, and it's this Williams car. You know, Bottas takes back-to-back victories now for Bottas. That's 2 wins in a row for Bottas, and that's the back-to-back 1-2s now for Williams Racing. They really are on a roll. And when it comes to the end of this episode, we need to have a sit-down with the team. We need to talk because we've got the British Grand Prix. It's my home race next, the British Grand Prix. And I want to do well in front of my home crowd. So I'm going to be even more determined to fight back against Williams. But at the end of the day, this is everything I wanted in this career mode. People were telling me before Williams upgraded the car to make upgrades and just see how quick the Merc is compared to everybody else. I thought it was boring. Right now, I have a proper championship fight on my hands. And I'm going to relish every single race that goes by in this fight between me and Williams. And also, don't even count out my teammate Rosberg. He's been all over me in some Grand Prix. Go back to Russia when he really gave me a proper battle. But there it is, the classification then. Williams dominates the Austrian Grand Prix ahead of this Mercedes team, who are now clearly the second best team. But just wait, hang on a minute, because, you know, there's something that Williams have done, which I think I might be able to do as well. In the driver's standings, Bottas closes the gap between me and him by 10 points. Can't see what the gap is because the preview screen is terrible. So you'll be able to see it, so you guys can see the gap there. But he has closed the gap now. And in the constructor standings, Williams again continue to close in on Mercedes-Benz at the top of the standings as we move forward towards the British Grand Prix here for you guys. And as you can see, here are the resource points stacking up nicely. And yeah, so that is it. Bottas is about to win the rivalry, but I did just say that resource points are stacking up nicely. So if Williams are going to, you know, bring some packages, I think I'm going to bring a package over to the British Grand Prix. Now, that sounds really wrong that I'm saying I'm going to bring my package over, but hey-ho, we're going to bring up a brand new package. So we are going to be making 2 engine upgrades and a reduction in drag on the car. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, drop a like and subscribe if you're new around here as well. And I'll see you guys for the next video very, very soon. The fight between me and Williams is just getting started. Take care all. Peace.